Most math teachers do not emphasize this enough. A straight line and a curve can tell completely opposite stories with exact same data. And once you understand this, the question of why some countries tax you 20% while others tax you 55% finally makes sense. It's not greed, it's not politics, it's not even economics. It's about where a country is located on a curve at that particular time. And many people do not even know this curve exists. Trust me, by the end of this video, you would understand the curve I am talking about, and you would definitely not see tax debates the same way again. Back in 2010, during the Obama administration's push for Affordable Care Act, a libertarian think tank known as the Cato Institute asked a very brilliant question. If you don't know the Cato Institute, it's in my description box below. And the brilliant question they asked was that if Sweden, one of the world's famous welfare states, is cutting down on their taxes and expensive government programs, why then is America trying to become more like Sweden? And when you map their logic out, it was very valid and clean. Now, picture an XY graph with the x-axis representing how much intervention a government have in a country, let's call it Swedishness, and the y-axis representing prosperity. The argument of the Cato Institute draws a line in this graph sloping downward. More government, less prosperity. Less government, more prosperity. By that map, America sits somewhere in the middle and Sweden lies somewhere farther right of the graph. And if Sweden have figured out that they've gone far too right and are now climbing back up, why would America push towards a territory Sweden is escaping from? That argument was very fair and in fact full of common sense. But here is the problem. It was drawn with a ruler. That was a straight line. I was reading a book known as How Not to Be Wrong by mathematician Jordan Ellenberg, and he dismantles this argument in a way that stopped me cold. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this video. Mathematician Jordan Ellenberg didn't say the Cato Institute was wrong. He only asked one specific question. What if the relationship between taxes and the prosperity of a country wasn't a straight line? Because this is what your mathematical teacher never really emphasized on. A straight line is just a type of a curve. And when you assume everything is a straight line, you are not being logical. You are just being lazy with your geometry. Now, let's pick the same graph with Swedishness on the x-axis and prosperity on the y-axis. But this time around, instead of a line, let's draw a hill-like curve. We go up, we peak and come down. Let's say America is to the left, underbuilt, underinvested, and have more room to travel up, and Sweden to the right, overextended and carefully trimming back to the peak. We can see that both countries are traveling towards the peak, with America becoming more Sweden and Sweden becoming less Sweden. So Obama and his administration on this policy wasn't wrong. The Cato Institute didn't just see the whole picture. The policy prescription for both countries were correct, just that they were of different starting points and hence different directions. Now, when you see this curve I just highlighted, you see it everywhere. For instance, we've been told that the more you work, the more results you yield. But this is a straight line thinking, because anyone who have ever burned themselves out know this is not true. At some point in time, productivity doesn't just slow down, it collapses. That's a curve. It has a limit and you must respect it. Now, let me get straight to the point. The reason countries have higher taxes than others isn't random. It's because they are on different points of the same curve. Think about it this way. A developing country with crumbling schools, weak infrastructure, and a workforce that can compete globally, where are they on this curve? They are to the left. So for such a country, raising taxes and pumping money into the system isn't just economics or an ideology, it's survival. They need to climb the hill urgently. Now, take a wealthy Scandinavian country that have spent decades building world-class hospitals, schools, and infrastructure. They are near the peak. They've climbed the hill near the peak. So for them, it only makes perfect sense if they slightly pull back from the curve, because what the taxes were meant to buy have already been bought. Remember, on the x-axis, Swedishness also equals tax rate. Same curve, completely different positions, completely different right tax rates. This is why it's intellectually lazy to look at a country like Nigeria taxing heavily and say the government is just stealing, or look at Dubai's 0% income tax and say this is perfect, so everybody should be like that. I mean, every country should be like that. You are comparing countries of completely different positions and expecting them to have the same prescriptions. That's impossible. A doctor doesn't give the same dose to every patient. His prescriptions are based on the condition of every patient at that time. And here's what makes this even more interesting. A country's starting point on the curve isn't just economical, it is historical, it is cultural. Let's say a country that was colonized for like 200 years, its wealth extracted, its institutions deliberately weakened, starts from a completely different place on the curve from a country that industrialized peacefully and accumulated wealth over generations. For post-colonial nations, higher taxes over there aren't punishing success. They are only trying to rebuild the foundation that was stolen. A country recovering from war starts from a completely different point on this curve. A country with extreme inequality also starts on a different point on this curve. A country with a young population versus an aging population starts at a completely different point on this curve. So the next time someone tells you a country's taxes are too high or too low, ask them compared to what and from where. Because the right tax isn't just a number or a percentage, it's a location on the curve where the nation is, and it differs from country to country on earth. Sweden built themselves from high taxes, and now they are carefully trimming down from a position of strength, not failure. They are not changing their direction, they just know where they are on the curve and acting accordingly. This is not socialism, this is not capitalism, this is curve thinking, and I think if you start thinking in curves in your daily life, it will help you as well. The question isn't whether your country's taxes are too high. The question is, do you even know where your country is on the curve? If you don't know, the opinion you hold so strongly isn't wisdom. It is just a straight line dressed up as one. And remind you, a straight line is just a local truth and not an overall truth. If you really understand this video, the next time someone argues about taxes, you won't just look at numbers. You would ask them where they are on the curve. And trust me, that question alone puts you ahead of the debate. I am Naila Sulemana, and if you've enjoyed this video, kindly tap on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell to stay updated. See you, bye!
Money, mindset, self-growth.